When I say action.
Yeah, all right.
Ready, Mr. Riza?
Yeah.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Action.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about as a monologue because I know if I'm trying to speak about a few things that are sensitive to the Sikh community. So I don't want like loads of people kind of haranguing me. One of the things is that I want to talk about
Content over everything.
Khalistan. Obviously, I am a pro-Khalistani. For anyone that doesn't know what pro-Khalistani is somebody that wants a separate state for the Sikhs. Big up to the Sikhs. Some Sikhs are walking by as well. Big up the Sikhs. Big up, kita. So when it comes to Khalistan, so look, we got Sikh. Turn around. Look, big up the Sikh bros. You got the Sikh bros here. Kita baji.
Come say hello.
सत श्री अकाल जी
प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं
नहीं खालिस्तान गल करना
ओके
जी नहीं सत श्री अकाल जी So basically I'm going to be talking about Khalistan, and the reason I'm going to be talking about Khalistan is that I am a pro-Khalistani, which means that I believe that the Sikhs should have their own homeland in the Punjab, and they should be separated from India. I don't agree with the Indian state, and the reason I don't agree with the Indian state is because I feel they'd be mistreating the Sikhs and mistreating the home of the Sikhs, and also the Hindus as well, and even some Muslims in there, of the Punjab. Now, before I go on, I don't represent the Sikh community. The reason I'm talking about it today is because of what I call the kind of human rights issues in India at the moment, in the Punjab. Around 2 weeks ago, 3 Sikhs, I'm going to get their names, oh my God, I need to, oh, it's malfunctioned, don't worry. I'll get it in a minute. But basically, 3 Sikhs here have been arrested in the Punjab and have been put into prison for life for something that I feel is not worthy of that sentence. In fact, I don't even think they should have went prison, in my opinion. But just for argument's sake, if you're not a pro-Khalistani and you believe that they should have went prison, yeah, that's your decision. But life is a very severe punishment for what they did or what they're accused of. Now, what they're accused of is, let me just read the thing before it sings. Oh my God, every time I do that. This is the problem with this technology, it's malfunctioning, it's twisting. So basically, when it comes to this situation, you're having these 3 individuals. Now, when you put someone in life for prison, into prison, the crime must fit the punishment. And that is one of the basic tenets of the law. Yeah, and in terms of human rights and in terms of being fair and just, in terms of justice. Now, these individuals didn't murder no one, they didn't rob anyone, they didn't rape anyone, they didn't go around, propagating, we're gonna do this. There wasn't no kind of like, some kind of like, a premeditated kind of goal to do something in terms of terrorism or anything. All their crime was they had literature for Khalistan and Pindrawala, big up Pindrawala, Sanjana Pindrawala, who was the freedom fighter for the Punjab. And they also had videos about 1984 when the Sikhs were being persecuted and the Golden Temple was blown up by the Indian government. And so they had these particular literatures, and also on top of that, they support Khalistan. Now, I support Khalistan as well. So what's happened, because of thoughts and because of having literature and videos, these individuals... No. So basically, these individuals have been put into prison for a crime that at the most is something that you may disagree with. To go into prison for life, that is a violation against human rights. They are in prison right now, and India is supposed to be one of the biggest democracies in the world. Now, yeah.
Did I miss? I don't know you that well, but I thought you used to support the government of India.
No.
You didn't?
No. I'll explain why.
The RSS and all that.
No. You're mad. Down to the RSS and BJP, they're terrorists. Yeah, so you're not going to like what I'm saying about India. But basically, when it comes to India, yeah, now I'm going to say something. I originally, a couple of months ago, said that Pakistan is a third world, yeah? Is a third world country. Now, I have now categories of first world, developing world, third world, and there's a new category that I made up, or I think it's a real category.
Why you want to say that?
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to do a monologue. So I'll answer a bit. So when it comes to the third category, or the new category, it's a third world. And Pakistan was in the third world, and now they're out of the third world. Yeah? Huh? Dude, it's none of your business, man.
Well, I'm a speaker's corner, that's a speaker's corner.
I know, well then I don't disturb you when you're talking. I'm trying to...
third world.
I can say what I want. You mad?
I'm just asking you why you're saying it.
Look, I'm not going to explain to you because you're getting butthurt for no goddamn reason.
What?
So you're getting butthurt for no goddamn reason.
I've got very good friends in Pakistan.
All right, so let me just carry on. Let me just carry on my thingy here. I'm going to say the word third world, 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 third world. I've said before that if you start dictating to me what I can say, I'll say it 50 times more. So basically, when I said that I believe Pakistan was in the third world, it was because of human rights issues. Because I also had Korea in the third world, North Korea, and Saudi Arabia in the third world. And the third world, those two countries are still there. But Pakistan has been taken out of the third world category and is now back to its original status because they released Asisia Bibi. Although she's still being persecuted to a certain degree because they're not letting her leave the country, they still made the good decision and the brave decision to release her with so much pressure to leave her in prison. So I don't say this very often, but big up to Imran Khan for doing that. So because of that, and the other thing when India's pilot was shot down, because a couple of weeks ago you had the situation where the Indian pilot was shot down in Pakistan, the Pakistani troops protected him and then they released him. So those two particular examples kind of made me think, all right, I think Pakistan, and also the Kartarpur corridor. Some people don't agree with it, but it's a corridor between Punjab and to one of our most holiest shrines for the Sikhs. So they've been elevated out of the third world. Now India, you are now in the third world. Yeah, you're straight in there. You are a piece of turd. And the reason you are a piece of turd is because you are violating human rights on a mass scale. And you are deemed to be one of the biggest democracies in the world. You should be setting an example to Pakistan and other countries around the world on how you treat your citizens. Now, when it comes to these three individuals, they are in prison for life for thoughts. It's unacceptable. They should be released or tried again and have a fairer judgment put against them. Now, to any of my Sikh brothers, yeah, this is not about Khalistan supporting it and not supporting. There are people in my family that don't like the idea of Khalistan, think it's pointless. There are people that I know that don't like Khalistan. But this is a separate issue about human rights. And so the Sikh are now facing another backlash of oppression. And on top of that, you have another individual called Jaggi, who was put in prison for a crime, and he's a citizen of Scotland or the UK, and he's been in India and in prison for over 100 and so days. Now, there's an accusation that Jaggi was kind of involved in a kind of an assassination of an individual. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of whether that's true, but I will say this: you cannot detain, a citizen of another country for over 120 or 30 days without a charge. The man has not been charged yet. He is in limbo, and that is unacceptable. So I am condemning the Indian government, and I don't give a shit if you send this to the embassy, send it to them. I don't give a shit. Big up Indrawala, big up Khalistan, and down to Indira Gandhi, and down to India until they release these political prisoners, So you're in the third world. If you want to get out of the third world, start behaving like a civilized society and start treating your citizens equally rather than persecuting the minorities, including the Muslims. The RSS and BJP, who are in control now, are fascists, and they're terrorists. Modis are terrorists. So, like I said, I'm trying to be fair. I don't want to say that, India is something that's, totally wrong. There's a lot of good things about India, but that's why it's more disappointing, because they're doing a lot of things pretty good, like there's the space program, the economy's growing, and all these kind of stuff. But on the one thing that you judge a country by, and the one thing that I'll put you in a third world for, is how do you treat your minorities? Now, if you're treating your minorities like in Saudi Arabia, that freaking third world country as well, when you're executing people and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're oppressing people, you're in the third world. Same with North Korea, you're in the third world. Pakistan was in the third world because of the oppression against Christians and the CCABB and a few other things. So now they've been taken out of that. So like I said, I hope if any Sikhs here don't agree with me, yeah, or I've made a mistake, I apologize. I do not speak for the Sikh community, but I do speak for the oppressed, yeah? And if the Sikh brothers are oppressed, I will speak out. Now, one of the other things I want to kind of talk about for a minute is addressing the terrorist attack in New Zealand. The reason I want to do this without many people about is because I know people are going to start asking me questions that I'm going to start getting annoyed about, because I am not responsible for that attack. That attack is totally unacceptable and evil. The person that done that attack here will burn in hell or whatever you believe. And that person from New Zealand is the same side, is the opposite side of the same coin. You have ISIS, and then you have these individuals that are the far-right Nazis and who have an ideology which hates the others, yeah? So he doesn't give a shit about anything apart from the fact that he hates minorities and he hates Muslims just a bit more. And so that's why he went into the mosque and he killed all these people, and it was a terrorist attack, out and out. If anyone starts saying it's not a terrorist attack, then I'm going to start looking at you sideways and going, all right, why are you saying that? The other thing is that at the end of the day, this is a terrible situation, and the Sikhs have also felt this as well. So in Wisconsin in 2012, 8 Sikhs were shot dead in a gurdwara or a temple in Wisconsin, but the same type of individual who was a racist white supremacist. And I am not a white supremacist, and I'm not a far-right individual. So linking me to these people who have killed my people is dangerous and unacceptable. So I'm not accepting this, because a lot of people, including, I don't want to say, let me try and be civil, yeah, I was about to say, including individuals like Respect and other individuals are, no, I was going to say something else. I was going to say something derogatory, but basically, these individuals are directly linking my videos to saying, because you said this, this might have happened, yeah? I condemn that guy's actions, he's evil, and I have nothing to do with him. He's my enemy. If I had my way, I'll chuck him on a freaking moon with those ISIS, let them up there to fight it out and kill each other, yeah? Because both of them are exactly the same type of people who hate the other. And so I'm not going to accept people coming up to me, and even today you start saying, Raj, condemn this, apologise for this. I've condemned it, yeah? And if you tell me to stop talking to certain individuals like Tommy Robinson and stuff, I'm not going to listen to you, yeah? I will make my own judgment. I will say to Tommy Robinson and anyone that supports Tommy Robinson, I'm not a blind follower, and Tommy Robinson's not my God. Do I think that, there's good points about him? Yeah, but there are also things I've got to criticise. One of the things is, for definite, you cannot go around saying, these houses are full of enemy combatants. I understand at the time, you might have been angry about the Manchester bombings, and so was I. So when I watched that video a year and a half ago, I didn't see it as a problem. But I watched it again after the attack, and I saw it as a problem. I had to start rethinking, all right, this video doesn't age well. When you're listening to it, it doesn't age well. And so I will have to call out Tommy Robinson or that. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking to the man. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop supporting him on certain issues. Yeah, but will I call out stuff that he's done wrong, including the word Paki and stuff like that? To me as an Asian, that's disrespectful. When I was growing up, they didn't see we wore brown Pakis, that's it. So I was called Paki when I was growing up. So no one has ownership on that word, yeah, because a lot of Pakistanis are going to say, Raj, you can't say it. Yeah, shut up, I can't say it. I'll say it if I want, yeah, because I've been called that. When I was growing up, they didn't see me as anything else apart from a Paki, so I can say it. So overall, when it comes to this situation, we need to start understanding that these individuals are very small fractions, yeah, and they're the same people, but just with a slightly different ideology. And all of them need to be made pariahs of society. But I don't accept people being silenced now. What I'm going to say to you is this: a terrorist attack's happened. It's totally unacceptable and evil. But I will be respectful today because it's so soon. But if you start coming up to me next week and say, Raj, don't say this, don't say that, don't say this, don't say that, you can't criticise this, you can't talk about that, I'm going to just say it 50 times more. So I'm warning people, don't dictate to me what I can say, because I'm already hearing people, well, you can't say this, apologise for that person, apologise for that person. That's not happening. Now, the last bit I want to talk about is included in this. When it comes to the grooming epidemic of Sikh girls here, but Asian Muslim grooming gangs, you're never going to stop me from saying that. Yeah, I've had people saying you can't say this because it's called Islamophobia. No, deal with your community, then you won't have the problem. Sikh Youth UK were on a down. Before I go on, Sikh Youth UK and SAS are not part of me. I don't really associate with them in that sense. But when it comes to this situation about the grooming and stuff, we agree on that. But they don't share my political views. So when it comes to grooming and stuff, you have a situation where you have Sikh girls being groomed by Asian Muslim grooming gangs. I'm not talking about white girls, I'm talking about Sikh girls, because that's my community, and Hindu girls as well. So you have a situation where, when it comes to Sikh Youth UK and stuff, the proportion in terms of the people that are being doing the grooming is around 90% of the groomers from are from Asian Muslim background. That is a fact, yeah? That's not even something that I've said. This is something that was said on the BBC Midlands just a couple of weeks ago, yeah? And in a report as well that was done that addressed the same issues. So like I said, I will talk about these issues, I will condemn death penalties, I will condemn this. If I want to condemn the Sharia and say the penal codes for Sharia are wrong and I disagree with death penalties, I will still say the American death penalty is bad. When they're killing people in North Korea for the death penalty is bad. I'm against death penalties, full stop. So you don't have special rights that I can't criticize Sharia death penalties. Yeah, if I can criticize the American death penalty, I criticize the Sharia death penalty. So I'm not gonna have none of this you can't say about halal meat. I used to be a vegan and I'm a vegetarian. I'm against all eating of meat. That includes the slaughtering factories for supermarkets and the mass production. And on top of that, I disagree with halal and kosher. But you got selective hearing, you only hear halal because you're freaking victims all the time in terms of your own mentality. I say both, and I've said it all the time, all animal cruelty. So when I'm talking about stuff and I want to mention, yeah, I disagree with animal cruelty, you can't tell me that I can't bring up halal meat. Yeah? If I can bring up the supermarket chain here, in factory farming, killing billions of animals, I can also bring up halal meat, slaughtering animals in a very barbaric way. That's not Islamophobia, yeah? So I don't want this bullshit about Islamophobia. That's critiquing a practice that I disagree with, yeah? So like I said, I'm gonna keep it short. If anyone wants to come down and speak to him about Khalistan in the future, if you're a pro-Khalistani or against Khalistan, or you're like an Indian like that. So look, that samosa carrying prick is here, yeah? All the time, he'll be walking about saying all day saying condemn Tommy Robinson. I condemn the individual that done the terrorist attack, and I will critique Tommy Robinson's language, and he needs to adjust some of the things he said. Will I condemn him? No. Will I? Oh, look who's out. Sorry, my flute fell out. I thought I was going to get a lot of pipe.
Don't blame anyone else for that, Raj.
Yeah, it was a gin. It was a gin. It was a gin. All right, so yeah, I think that was a sign for me to stop. Yeah, so. No. So basically, I'm gonna leave it, but I will play the flute if people start following me like I'm your god. So I will start playing it.
I'm gonna follow
you. So what it is that it needs to. Well, we get on, so it doesn't make no difference. Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna cut it short. If anyone wants to come down and discuss this issue about Khalistan and the human rights in India, I'd appreciate it from a different perspective, even if you're pro-India. And pro-BJP or whatever. I like to talk to everybody. In fact, I would even talk to a Nazi. I'd even talk to Anjem Chowdhury, because I believe listening to what they say and debunking it is better than letting them people speak and no one challenging them. So anyway, I was going to say something bad as I go. What can I say that normally? I can't say nothing too bad though.
Hatred.
I was going to say something. I've got so many catchphrases, but I can't say none of them. I'm going to be sensible today, yeah?
Yeah, be sensible.
I'm going to be sensitive today, but big up the Popo.
Content over everything. From your melody. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen.
about 8 years. I've been in the United Nations. I'm still serving right now, and I have never seen anything like that before. You know, and I actually thought it was a video game initially.
Absolutely.
You know, when I first saw the clip,
Absolutely.
I thought this is a video game.
Absolutely. I mean,
I've seen worse than that. Every day is happening. It's worse than this one happening. A guy's acting like a video game. There's a guy, military. He's already a game himself.